Hello, everybody. This is a Grim Report. Grim speaking. Just to let y'all know, this is gonna be a report on Blackad Kid. It's a Blackad Kid report. It comes from us. Wow. This is Sale. Royal Town. Like any other town. Nothing unique. Just normal. For the end of the video, I'll be telling you why I'm talking to you like this and not laid back and like I normally am. A few things are going to be changing in the channel, and then I'm going to be adding a few things to the channel as well. So, shall we get this report started, shall we? This is called I Let the Blackad Kids Inside My House. This is just saying, he said, let me start. By saying, I know how hard it is. All will be to believe. Now that things have taken a turn for the worst, he started looking for stories similar to his, and he found a weak and weird. This is where I got the report. Things are changed because of copyright. So, if you want to know why I'm changing a few things. He feels like he should share this story with someone, and their website, The Weak and Weird, seems like the right place. He made the mistake of letting the Blackad Kids inside his house. Now he's worried that he might die because of it. He hoped this will be a warning to everyone who is ever in the position to make the same mistake he or she did. He lives outside a rural town in Vermont. It's a tight-knit community. You know what I'm talking about. It's tight-knit. Basically, everybody knows everything, everybody's business. Everyone knows one another's people. They don't knock. Of course, kids don't really, if you know them, they don't knock. There was no reason to. A little over about a year ago, he woke up. He heard a loud bang on his front door. She heard a loud name on the front door. Her husband got up. They lived in a small town. Dirt roads, crap like that. Just nooks and crannies. The home country, as you would say. The rural road in town was just the middle of a snowstorm. Nearby hills get very slippery and the snow, so she thought that someone might have been an accident, broke down, whatever. When she looked out the window, she could see that outmotion spotlight was on. She could see that there were footprints in the snow that had come from a road and into their driveway. But there was no cars anywhere. The snow was still covered the ground. So it must have recently snowed. A road and no one had driven on it. Someone was standing there. She wasn't sure what to think, so she woke up her husband. I mean, wouldn't you? I would. If I was married. Of course, then again, it'd be my wife I'd be waking up. Why would I wake her up? She'd kill me. Up to just about a foot safe. Just to feel safe. Just to have that little, like, he's around, I'm safe. She was telling him that she was going on the bang on the door She was telling them that someone was banging on the door, something like that. Startled again, and her husband went to answer it. While she stood there in the hallway, she stood in the hallway. When her husband opened the door, there were two children standing in the snow. Looking towards the ground, they were a boy and girl. They couldn't have been more than 8 years old, So they were pretty short, about 4 foot, 5 foot maybe. No, about 4 foot. They were dressed strangely and had odd haircuts. Probably about the 50s or 40s or 20s. That's when these things were basically seen, mostly. From what I understand, they have probably Victorian era garb, 1800s. This is just my assumption from what I've read about a lot of these things. Her hair was long and straight. The boy had a dated haircut. He had probably gonna probably say like mine, but like oiled, slicked down. They weren't dressed for the winter. Of course not. They ain't human. And her first thoughts was that they must have been Mennonite children. But as far as she knew, there were never a large community of Mennonites near them. Thinking back on it, that normal reaction to seeing children in a snowstorm would have been rush them inside, bundle them up. What anybody normal person would do, but this was different. This is not what she felt like she had to do. The children were very unnerving. Of course. They would not make eye contact. Of course not. Why would they? When her husband asked them if everything was okay, they asked if they could come in. Her husband looked at me like, what do I do? Like, honey, what do I do? And asked the kids where their parents were. They'll be here soon, is all they said. Ew, that's ominous. It was around 2 o'clock in the morning. At this point, the only reasonable thought in her head was that she must have been an accident or these kids got lost. As much as her instincts told her not to bring them inside, she did anyways. She went into the kitchen to make them some hot cocoa while her husband took them into the living room while she was fixing the kettle. She could hear her husband talking to the kids. He was asking them, if they were okay, if they were cold, if they needed anything, or where they came from, and how far they walked from, maybe he thought it was like an accident or whatever. And if their parents' car was broke down, things that you would assume would be happening in a snowstorm. But they always answered, our parents will be here soon. Creepy. They spoke in a singing, songy voice. Like they sung, how to put it? They were like, our parents will be here soon. Our parents will be here soon. Kind of like that. Not repetitive, but in sync, I'm guessing is the word for it. They weren't very afraid to be in a stranger's home. Of course not. She started to notice that their cats, they have 4 cats, by the way. 4. Were hiding, except Pigeon, who was in the kitchen with her. Normally, their cats are very curious and friendly, and they have to be careful. They don't run out the door when they leave. This time, none of them even tried to see if the kid who was here, come on, you don't think that's strange if the cats are normally out running about, looking around and all that, and these kids, they don't come out. Except for Pigeon. Although it was very strange. All the hair on her cat Pigeon's neck was standing up, and his tail was puffed out. Wow, this cat did not like these kids. Looked in the living room when she bent down to pet him. She was that was wrong. He hissed at her, guys. And he started growling and backed up until he had hid himself under the kitchen island, and she never seen him do that before. Wow. She walked back into the living room. Kids were sitting there on the couch, as still as they can be. Her husband was holding his head in his hands. She asked him what was wrong. He just said felt dizzy. All of a sudden, but he was just fine. She turned back to the children to give them a cocoa, but when they looked at her, she gasped. Everything inside of her not to drop in the mugs and to run away. Everything told her to stop, drop the mugs, and run. When they looked at her, their eyes were completely black. Freaky. They had no whites at all. When they saw she was scared, they stood up and asked if they could help. They could use the bathroom. She tried to be as composed as she could. She showed them down the hallway, went into the bathroom together, and she hurried back to her husband to ask him if he had seen their eyes. He had seen them too, and he said it looked like brother's badly brushed eyes after a car accident. Bruised eyes or a car accident. They were in the middle of talking about whose children they could be when her husband's nose started to bleed. He never had nosebleeds as long as they had known him. As she had known him, she just knew inside herself that this had something to do with the kids in the bathroom, and she started crying. Wow. She ran to get her husband some tissue. Ew. That's when she said the power went out in the house. Her husband heard her husband yell a name from the living room, and she started to walk back through the hallway. She stopped dead in her tracks. The two children were standing at the end of the hallway. They weren't moving and have never been so scared in their life. They stood there in the dark. After that, they feel like forever. The little boy said, "Our parents are here." And they walked to the door and opened it and walked out, leaving it wide open. Her husband jumped up to go close it and almost fell over. They looked out the window and saw two men standing by a black car idling at the end of the driveway. The men looked like they were wearing black-colored suits and were very tall, at least 6 feet. When her husband waved at them, they just stared at us into the car, got in the car, and drove off. Their power came back on half an hour later, but nothing was the same after that. Over the next few months, 3 other cats went missing. They only could assume that they ran away. Husband nosebleed became regular occurrence. When she said the doctor didn't know what to make of it other than dry nasal passages, but her husband was diagnosed with aggressive skin cancer. When the doctor asked if he used tanning beds, they both thought he was joking, but apparently this kind of melanoma is linked to overuse of indoor tanning. Doctor, wow. Wow. Okay. This was on Weekend Weird, and I didn't read every bit of it because it would take up all day. And I don't got time for that. I don't want to take up any more of your time than it is to take the report. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will be doing a thing with Vault Wednesday. He's already let it out of the bag. and it is going to be on Ape Canyon. Now, why am I talking like this and not my normal voice? Well, this is my normal voice. This is how I talk normally. Yes, I do sound very intelligent. When I'm with my friends, I sound different. Why? Because when my friends, I'm relaxed. When I'm doing the report from now on, you will be hearing me talk in this tone of voice, and there won't be much of the goofiness going on. There won't be much excitement. Well, there will be excitement when I'm doing things like this, but there won't be you hearing me be all kiddish and childish. No. You see, I've had a rough life, but I won't get into that. We all have rough lives. It's different for everybody. I'm correct on that. I know I am. I won't get into the details of my life or anything like that. There's no sense of it. It's a YouTube channel, and you guys, I do treat you guys as family, as close as family can get. But I won't be acting all childish. I've grown out of that, and apparently I should be showing this, because I've been having haters here lately. Well, one in particular, but I won't mention his name because his name's not worth it. And he's not worth the keyboard that he's typing the words on either. And you're like, Grim, well, we like the way you were. Well, I am still Grim. You will, when I'm around other people, I will be different. But as for the Grim Report and everything's going on, I will be like this. A little bit more serious. No, when it gets a little after dark, I might go a little bit fun. Might have a little fun here and there, but other than that, no. And for your information, I am a devout Christian. I love God. I'm letting you know this because, yes, I do hang out with people who are of other faiths. And I have nothing against that. They are friends. They are like family. Faith doesn't step in the way. And it shouldn't. As long as someone knows of Him, of God, then that's fine. I'm not going to force my religion on anybody. I'm not the Spanish Inquisition. I'm not the Roman Catholics. I'm not a Mormon. But I do believe in Jesus Christ. I go to a Baptist church, but it doesn't mean I'm a Baptist. Now, there will be something else when I have nothing else to report on. Every so often, yes, there is a dry spell for everything. I will be calling it the Grim Grotto. And basically, it will be about cryptids. The Grim Grotto of cryptids. I was given this idea by Lakea today. We have been doing some research on what I'm going to be reporting on tomorrow and what I will be talking about with the Vault Keeper on Wednesday. And yes, next Sunday, the 23rd, I will have the Wicked One and Barry on panel. Wicked One is going to tell some stories about Dogman, and that will be the subject of that stream. Now, if you have any information, anything you wish to talk about, stories to tell me, I will be taking those as soon as I get another email account set up. I will be setting up another one that people can send to me what they have. Any information or anything, and I will have that up on the description of hopefully my next video, the one about Ape Canyon. And I will be putting that up tomorrow, and it will be going up probably. I'm not sure. I'm not going to give you a time because I have to go have a doctor's appointment. But that's not here nor there. So, it will be tomorrow. Ape Canyon. Everything me and this person could find out, I will give her props. She's part of the family, Lakea the Librarian. She's helped me do this research. She deserves props. She said, no, that's what family does. Yes, that's what family does. But me, I believe in when I give my word to somebody, I put it out there. Put their name out there. But when I say, I'm going to put it this way. When I say I'm not going to do something, I give you my word, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But when I say I'm going to give someone props, I give them my word, I'm going to give them props. They get the props. So props to Lakea, thank you. And tomorrow, Ape Canyon, Wednesday, Ape Canyon, but more information is going to be talked about. I'm not going to do it all. I'm not going to put it all out there. A lot of it's going to be put out there on Wednesday. The rest of it. So it's going to be a two-parter. So stay tuned. And like I said, this is my attitude. This is how I'm going to be. Like it, don't. It's fine. I put my twist on everything. I do my comic books. I'm put it this way. I've been described. I've been put. My twists in my comic books have been put up there with some of the greatest twist writers. The ones that put twists in writing. I can't get my words. I'm sorry, but I'm trying to get this done because it's going over 20 minutes and I don't want to go too far. But like I said, the recap. This lady let black-eyed kids in their home. Her husband started having nosebleeds, a reoccurring, and he got skin cancer. And her cats, I think one or two of her cats went missing. Because they let these kids in here. What are the whys? Don't let black-eyed kids in your house. That's stupid. This is Grim from the Grim Report. Signing off. Good luck. Good night. God bless.